I was motivated by a desire to learn more about chemistry in terms of research and what I like to do as a scientist. So our work is entitled Estimating Dietary Exposure to Polycyclic Aromatic Compounds from Food-Grade Plastics, or PACs for short, are a class of chemical that our lab co-grad routinely studies. Our lab is capable of looking at a very wide amount of these compounds, and to estimate that dietary intake, I think, was really interesting.
I took chemistry for the first time, and it answered questions I had about how the world worked. You know, the things I wanted to know were answered in chemistry. So I was just in chemistry the rest of the time because I liked it. That's what I wanted to be doing. I think my biggest achievement as a woman in science has been the students that I've trained and advised and mentored. It's really an honor to work with students and to build trust with them, and then to show them what I know, and then to learn from them as well, because you give them tools and then they go out and find more things. My first 3 doctoral students were women, and they all graduated. 2 of them are professors, and 1 is working in bioinformatics and industry. And one of them, Jayangika, received a fellowship from the United Nations organizations, which is a really prestigious award, and it was amazing to see her go on and do that in her early career. That's been exciting. All the students that I've worked with, that's the best part of the job.
I've had the opportunity in this lab to be surrounded by a lot of really strong women role models, and that's been very important to me. We've had a lot of female grad students and female employees in the years that I've been working here. And I have thought about, as a woman in this field, is if I want to have children in the future, is that something I'm going to have to think about? Is that going to be a challenge with my career? So to have these role models who are not only doing all of these things, but excelling at them has been very valuable for me.
Getting funding was the biggest challenge, but I think this is true. A lot of times that it's often said, like, men are believed to be capable just, on the face of it, and women have to prove that they are capable. And I would get just rejection after rejection. And finally, I got some papers out that showed I knew what I was doing on my own. So my publication record had to come first. And then in my funding, I just say, so we're going to do the methods that we just published, basically. I think it just fulfills that sort of maxim that men are believed to be capable until they prove that they're not, and women are thought to be not capable until they prove that they are. And I don't want to be like a complainer, but I feel like I've experienced it, I've seen it, I know it's true, and my female colleagues have said the same thing. You just have to work a little harder. But you know what? I learned so much because I had to go over and over again and try harder. My science got better. So the peer review process in that way is, it might be painful, but it's also beneficial. It's made me a better scientist.
I think in terms of supporting women in science, something that's always important is representation, and having those role models. As much as I've enjoyed every single experience I've had with learning in this environment, the reality is that the majority of professors remain male, and women are underrepresented in those leadership positions. And I think maybe part of that is women entering jobs that were traditionally considered to be male-dominated with no adjustments for their unique needs. I'm actually a labor studies minor at the U of M, which I love talking about because I think those courses are super cool. And something we learn is that when women enter jobs that are considered to be male-dominated, there often can be issues when you're not considering the fact that there are different needs, and that can look different depending on the workplace. But something that I've always found easy to wrap my head around is a lot of times women in trades will have safety issues because they're wearing harnesses that are only designed for men, and our body shapes are completely different. I think just working on retention policies and adjusting to the needs of women and getting that representation would really go a long way. And then, of course, there's a lot of small things, or things that seem small but add up to really be influential, like making sure there's networking opportunities for women, mentorship opportunities, making sure there's zero discrimination policies, and including female speakers in any science series, I think would go a long way to support women in science.
I would say be gentle with yourself. Keep going, but be gentle with yourself and say yes to fun opportunities. Like unexpected things, just say yes, just try it. you know, as long as you have the energy for it, go for it. Because sometimes, well, life is full of surprises.